Hello, friends. Welcome to day 4 of our Yin Yoga Series for well-being. If this is your first day participating in this Yin series, check out the comments down below for more details. And when you're ready, afford yourself a moment to get comfortable, maybe closing the eyes, settling in. The theme for our Yin Yoga class today is a healthy spine. So we are really working on inviting nourishment and space into the back, the neck, and the shoulders. And we'll be holding postures for about 5 minutes, beginning to notice if there are any sensations present in the body. Noticing if you are present with the body, or has your mind taken you on a journey? Remembering that the breath is always a tool and it is always available to guide you to this very moment. Gently reminding yourself that there is no need to control the breath. Simply allowing the breath to breathe on its own. Allowing the body to be in a state of peace. Giving yourself permission to detach from any narratives, any stories that you might be telling yourself about this experience, about this day, about your life. Giving yourself permission to completely surrender, knowing that all is well and you are safe. Offering yourself 3 mindful and loving breaths to commence practice. Gradually inhaling through the nostrils and exhaling, sighing it out. Finding your fluidity. You might like to join me on your shins in diamond pose or assume a cross-legged position. We're going to come into a seated cat-cow, placing the palms on the knees. Finding length through the vertebral column. Inhale, broaden across the heart space, gaze up. Exhale, begin to roll each vertebra one at a time, curling and rounding the spine, lowering the chin to the chest. A few more rounds. Finding your cadence. Doing your best to be present with each movement. And recognizing that the transitions between postures are just as important as the postures themselves. Beginning to slow down, finding a neutral spine. Inhale, extend the arms skywards, join the palms together. And from here we'll take eagle arms. So, lowering the arms, crossing the left arm underneath the right, maybe finding a double bind, placing the palms against one another. Inhale, raise the arms. Exhale, lower down. Finding a beautiful release for the shoulder blades, opening the upper back. And if this isn't accessible to you, you might like to grab a hold of the outer shoulder, the shoulder blade, with the opposite hand. Gently release, cactus the arms out wide, broaden the heart space. Exhale, curl and round. Inhale, cactus arms. Exhale, forearms together, palms facing the face. And again. Once more. And gently glide the arms down by your side, taking one breath in diamond pose. Inhale, raise the arms, join the palms together. Exhale, finding eagle bind on the other side, or crossing your arms to give yourself a gentle hug. We really want to create space between the earlobes and the shoulders, whilst pulling the forearms away from the torso so that we're really stretching into the back body. Moving with the breath as we inhale and raise the arms. Exhale, gently lower the arms down. On your next inhale, cactusing the arms out wide, gaze up. Exhale, curl and round, forearms together. A few more times. This is a beautiful sequence of movements to practice in the morning after a night of rest to really help invite some mobility into the back, into the body. And gently lowering the arms down by your side, interlacing the fingers together behind the back, extending the arms, gaze up, and guiding the bind around to the right side of your waist, lowering the left ear to the left shoulder, perhaps finding a tremendous stretch along the right side of the neck, and beginning to create some half circles, moving the neck, the head. If you notice any regions that feel a little interesting, feel free to pause the video and hang out there for a little bit. Join us when you're ready. One more gentle circle in either direction. Inhale, re-extend the arms behind the head, gaze up. And now guide the bind around to the left side of the waist. And this time lowering the right ear to the right shoulder. Noticing if there are any differing sensations between the stretch on both sides of the neck. And either finding stillness or inviting some gentle circular motions, some half circles into the cervical region of the spine. One more circle in either direction. Inhale, re-extend the arms, broaden across the heart space. Well done, returning the palms to the shins. And from here, we will transition into a tabletop position, coming onto all fours. Wrists are underneath shoulders. Knees are underneath hips. Join the big toes together and begin to widen the knees slightly. Beginning to sink the hips back towards the heels. Maybe lowering the forehead down onto the mat as you walk your arms out in front. Finding an extension in the arms and then allowing them to soften. Notice if the shoulders are creeping up towards the ears. Is it possible to create a little bit more space to soften into this region of the body? And when you're ready, finding stillness, using the breath as an anchoring force to keep you grounded. staying in child's pose, we are going to mindfully walk our arms, our fingers over to the right, off the edge of the mat. And you might like to place your left palm on top of your right, doing your best to keep the hips grounded. You might notice a tremendous stretch along the left side body. Breathe. One more breath. and gently guiding your palms to the mat and walking the hands over to the left, maybe placing the right palm on top of the left, settling in, breathing into the side ribs, the back body, letting go. Offering yourself one more loving breath in this variation of child's pose. And in your own time, mindfully walking the arms back onto the mat, taking one breath in child's pose, and walking your palms under the shoulders, using arm strength and core strength to unroll the spine, coming up to a seated position. It might feel nice to roll the neck and the head in one direction and the other, inviting any movement that feels nourishing for you in this space. From here, returning to a tabletop position. You might like to tuck the toes under or keep them pointed, it's up to you. We are going to come into a cat-cow. Inhale, scoop the chest forward, lower the belly towards the earth. Exhale, curl and round, spinal flexion. Inhale, extension, gaze up. And again, taking one more round, and we'll meet in tabletop position. From here, we'll come into thread the needle, grounding down through the left palm. Inhale, extend the right arm skywards. Exhale, thread the right arm between the left arm and the left leg, lowering down onto the shoulder, the side of the face. It might feel nice to walk the left arm out in front, pressing down into the palm. Alternatively, you might like to wrap your left arm behind your back, placing the palm somewhere along the inner seam of that right thigh. If you notice your hips swaying to one side, mindfully guide them to the midline. And in your own time, finding stillness, creating space to surrender to this posture. Breathe. gifting yourself 2 more mindful breaths in this pose. And when you're ready, returning the left palm underneath the left shoulder. Inhale, extend the right arm. Exhale, return the right palm underneath the shoulder. 1 breath in tabletop. And we'll get set up to go on the other side, this time grounding down through the right palm as we thread the left arm between the right arm and the right leg. Finding any variation of this posture that is conducive with your energy levels for today. Noticing what's going on around the face. Can you unfurl the eyebrows? Unclench the jaw. Maybe invite a soft smile onto the face. See what feels interesting. guiding your awareness to the breath, using this as an opportunity to relax into this posture for one final breath. And when you're ready, placing the right palm under the right shoulder, pressing into the arm. Inhale, extend the left arm skywards, gaze up. Exhale, return the left palm underneath the shoulder, tabletop position. And from here, slowly lowering the torso, the body down onto the mat as we set up for Sphinx pose. The legs are extended, toes are facing towards the back of the mat. The legs are about hip-width distance apart, propping yourself up on your forearms. Elbows are underneath shoulders. If that's too intense for you, you might like to walk your arms out slightly, reducing the compression in the lower back, finding your variation. And if this is still too much, you might like to place a bolster underneath your torso, rest your arms on blocks, lean into what feels good. Noticing where you are feeling sensation and seeing if you can be present with that experience. Returning your awareness to this moment, taking one more breath in Sphinx pose, and gently lowering the chest, the forehead down onto the mat, placing one palm atop of the other and maybe resting your forehead on it as though it were a pillow. Joining the big toes together, allowing the heels to roll out towards the edge of the mat as we come into Makarasana, crocodile pose. This is a beautiful counter posture to create space in the lower back. When you're ready, gently guiding yourself upright to a tabletop position. And we're going to come into rabbit pose, another counter posture. Bending the torso forwards in a spinal flexion, we are going to lower the crown of the head down onto the mat, doing your best to bring the forehead as close to the knees as possible, grabbing a hold of the heels of the feet with the palms, with the fingers, whilst trying to raise the pelvis, raise the upper back, really facilitating a lovely rounding to create space. Breathe. We'll be in this posture for the next few breaths, seeing if you can soften a little more. From here, mindfully returning the palms underneath the shoulders, lowering the sits bones down onto the heels, using core strength and arm support to guide you upright into diamond pose. Well done. Again, it might feel nice to create some neck circles here. Moving at your rhythm. From here, we will lower our sits bones down onto the earth, extend the legs out in front, coming into Dandasana, stick pose, finding length through the vertebral column, slight activation of the core and a slight tuck of the chin. From here, bending the right knee and guiding the right foot to the outer edge of the left leg, ensuring that both glutes stay in contact with the earth. Inhale, raise the arms skywards. Exhale, twist to the right, finding a beautiful spinal twist. Gazing behind that right shoulder, maybe closing the eyes. And with every inhalation, feel your spine growing longer. And with every exhalation, seeing if you can twist a little more, create a little more space. The left leg is extended, we're grounding down through the heel of that foot, and the left kneecap and the left toes are facing skywards. Tuning into the breath. Taking 2 more loving breaths in this spinal twist. On your next inhale, turning the head to face the front of the mat, mindfully unraveling, lowering the arms down the length of the body, guiding the right foot down, re-extending the right leg, maybe finding some internal and external rotation with the hips, find what feels good. And when you're ready, we'll take this stretch on the other side, bending the left leg and guiding the left foot to the outer edge of that right thigh. Inhale, raise the arms skywards. Exhale, twist to the left, guiding the right tricep to the outer edge of that left thigh. Breathe. Offering yourself 2 more mindful breaths in this twist. On your next inhale, gazing forwards, raising the arms overhead, and exhale, lowering the arms down the length of the body, re-extending the left leg. Again, finding any movement that feels nice. And from here, bending the knees, we'll scoot forward on the mat, ensuring that you have enough space behind you, placing the palms under the thighs, and begin to roll down 1 vertebra at a time. Bringing the knees towards the chest. Maybe interlacing your fingers around the shins, under the thighs. And you might like to gently rock from side to side, massaging out the lower back. From here, interlacing your fingers around the right shin, extending the left leg, coming into wind relieving posture. Maybe staying here, or you might like to come into a spinal twist as we guide the right knee over to the left. Perhaps cactusing the right arm, extending the right arm out at shoulder height. Doing your best to keep both shoulders in contact with the earth. Feeling a beautiful stretch in the lower back, the mid back. Maybe closing the eyes and finding stillness. Taking a few more gentle breaths in this twist. And when you're ready, mindfully unraveling, drawing both knees to the chest, maybe rocking side to side, and we'll take this stretch on the other side. And this time extending the right leg, interlacing your fingers around the left shin. Either staying here in this hip flexor stretch, or gently guiding the left knee over to the right, gazing to the left. Breathe. One more breath in this spinal twist. And slowly guiding yourself out of the pose, drawing both knees to the chest, maybe rocking side to side. And from here, returning the soles of the feet down onto the mat. We will set up for Bananasana, banana pose. So, guiding your hips over to the right side of the mat slightly, guiding your left leg over to the left corner of the mat, maybe crossing the right ankle, the right foot over the left, and as well guiding your torso, your head over to the left. Perhaps placing one palm on top of the other. You might like to grab onto one wrist. So it's as though we're creating a banana or a crescent moon shape. Doing your best to keep the hips squared, the shoulders squared, and really feeling a beautiful stretch along the entire side body. Recognizing that this experience will be different for all of us, so if you need to make any adjustments, lean into what feels right for you. Begin to soften. One more breath in banana pose. Extending the arms the length of the body, bending the knees, mindfully guiding the hips over to the left, and this time extending the right leg out towards the right side of the mat, maybe crossing the left leg over the right, and guiding your arms, your head over to the right as well. Giving yourself a moment to find stillness. Seeing if you can breathe into the side body. Breathe into the regions where you are feeling sensation. Reminding yourself it is okay to soften. One more gradual breath in banana pose. Extending the arms the length of the body, uncrossing the legs, bending the knees, guiding the hips towards the middle of the mat, drawing the knees to the chest, maybe swaying from side to side, massaging out the lower back. And when you're ready, we'll set up for Savasana, final relaxation. Limbs are extended, palms facing skywards, a slight external rotation of the hips. For anyone who experiences hyperlordosis or an overcompression in the lower back, it might be helpful to place a bolster, a rolled up blanket under the knees. This might help you relieve some pressure in that region of the body. Tuning into the breath. Maybe the mind has begun to settle. Thoughts might have begun to slow down. Or perhaps it's quite the opposite. Noticing if you are still holding on to tension. Is there still an inner conflict, an inner resistance? And if so, simply imagining what it might be like to surrender, to let go. Allow yourself to be here for the next few moments, resting in stillness. If ever the mind begins to wander, you might like to recite an affirmation or use the breath as an anchor. I invite you to pause the video here if you would like to continue on with your relaxation. And joining us when you're ready, beginning to wiggle the fingers, the toes, reanimating the body, perhaps rolling the neck, the head from side to side. Inhaling, extending the arms overhead, stretching the body in either direction. And when you're ready, bending the knees, rolling over to the left, assuming a fetal position. Taking as many breaths here as you like. And when you're ready, keeping the eyes closed, coming upright into a seated position. Roll the shoulders back. Feeling your connection to the earth, to this very moment. Inhale, raise the arms skywards, join the palms together. Exhale, lowering the palms to heart center. And let us close practice in a space of gratitude, a space of clarity and acceptance for what is. Thank you all so much for today. Namaste.